So folks, welcome. This video is coming to you all the way from Tasmania in Australia's south. I've been on the road on this bike for about 4 days now, covered about 2,000 kilometers so far. So I thought I'd make a little video today talking about how the MT-09 is coping with it. What's it like as a touring bike? What are some of the pros, some of the cons, some of the things I think could improve to make it a better touring bike? And also I'll talk a little bit about that luggage setup I've got back there to give you an idea what you might want to do if you're considering taking your own MT-09 touring. This is actually about half an hour after I recorded that intro, but it's just been pouring with rain, so I had to stop and wait for another opportunity. But yeah, we're here in Tasmania, we're road tripping, and I'm going to talk about what the MT-09 is like as a touring bike. Let's do it! I really wanted to make the video on this road as well because the scenery and the road are just awesome. So yeah, MT-09. If I had to give it an overall mark, I reckon it'd be like 8 out of 10 because it's doing a really good job. I guess the other thing I've learned on this trip is you can tour on anything if you want to. Like we've got 2 guys on this trip on supermotos, we've got guys on Africa Twins, street triples. So the big lesson for me there is just get out and do it, whatever you've got. But yeah, if you've got an MT-09 and you're thinking about touring on it, you'll have a great time. It's a great bike. So what do I like about it? There's probably 2 big ones. The first one is the engine. This 850 triple. The roads we're on now, this is quite typical of Tasmania. There's a lot of single lane flowing fast roads like this. And the MT-09 just eats them up. The torque just means that whatever gear you're in, you just roll on and the power's there. So me and a couple of mates, we made the trip down from Sydney. So that was a good 1,500 kilometers just to get to Tasmania. And we did highways, we did coast roads, did a bit of everything. And this engine just takes it in its stride. It'll idle along all day, and then when you're ready to have some fun, just kick it back a gear or 2, wind on. The other thing I'm loving about the MT-09 on this trip is the comfort. So if you've seen one of my videos before, you'll know I'm a very tall guy. I'm about 6'6", and there's just tons of space on the MT-09. You got heaps of leg room. The bars are pretty high, and so on the long days it just hasn't been fatiguing at all. It's been amazing. So good things about the bike: comfort, engine power, both awesome. Oh, another one I should mention is fuel economy. So even with plenty of like spirited riding, this thing's only using 5.5 litres per 100 kilometers. So it's a pretty damn economical bike as well for the long haul. But that does bring me to the first downside of the bike, and that is it's only got a 14 litre fuel tank. So what that means is that you will be stopping for fuel fairly often. I'm finding at the moment that the fuel light comes on after about 200 kilometers, and then like you really wouldn't want to take it much past 230. So it's okay. You're not going to get stranded, but it just means that if you really want to crack on, you're going to end up spending more time in petrol stations than you probably would like. Another downside is the wind buffeting. Even with this high huge touring screen, it's throwing a lot of air onto my head, so it is a bit fatiguing on the neck. after a while. But I mean, not a big deal. And the only other major negative that I can think of on this trip is the OEM tyres. They just don't last very long. So I've done about 6,000 Ks now, and the rear tyre is squared off across the crown from all the highway kilometres on the trip. And I've spoken to a buddy on this trip that used to have an MT-09 himself, and he said the mileage I've got out of that tyre is normal. There's nothing unusual about that. But if you're buying an MT-09 with touring in mind, just keep in mind that you're going to probably need to replace your tyres inside, well, definitely inside the first 10,000 and probably inside the first 7,000 or 8,000. There's a couple of guys on the trip that have got the Michelin Pilot Road 4s, and if you're going to cover a lot of miles, those are much more like it. You'll get like 12, 15,000 out of those, and they're still a great sporty tyre for these kind of roads as well. Luggage, I've had a couple of people ask me about the luggage setup on the MT-09, so actually what I might do that when I'm stationary. So insert clip here where I talk about luggage. Alright, fast forward. I said I'd do a quick run over the luggage situation, so let's have a quick look at it up here. So it's pretty straightforward really. I've got the Yamaha panniers here, and I've got a soft roll bag up on the rear rack here. So the reason I've got a soft bag and not a top box is just because I already had this from dirt riding, so it still works with a road bike, so I didn't see the point of getting another box. Between the roll bag and the panniers, I can fit quite a bit of stuff, so I didn't actually take a tank bag on this trip. You can see it's all blank up there. Quick look at how the panniers attach. They just attach to one another with this Velcro strip here. And then down the side here, you can see these bars that attach just near the passenger foot pegs, and the pannier just slides onto the bar there. So you just remove this clip, slide it off the bar, and you're done. And then these detach as well from here. There's lots of throw over pannier options out there. I just went with those ones because they gave me a good price on them when I was accessorizing the bike from new. So yeah, pannier each side, soft roll bag. Only other things to make it a bit nicer for touring. Got the heated hand grips, and this screen that a few people have been asking about. This is the Puge touring screen. Hope I pronounced that correctly, but I'll put a link for that in the description if you're interested in that. And that's it. That's pretty much the touring setup for the MT-09. Been away for a week now, works well. Ooh, sketchy bit of stuff on the road. So there you go folks, if you've been thinking about doing a tour on your MT-09, I hope you found that a little bit useful. It's starting to rain again, so I'm going to wrap this up. But yeah, there's a guy on this trip that's got an MT-09 Tracer, and yeah, it's fair to say he's doing it more comfortably than I am. He's got a nice big screen, he's got a big fuel tank, so that straight away gets rid of two of the complaints I've had about this bike for the trip. So the Tracer does that really well, but I don't really feel like I'm losing out that much. And I like the fact that when I'm not touring, the bike's small, it's lightweight. I don't have to carry all that extra weight around the rest of the time. But yeah, like I was saying at the top of the video, one thing I've definitely learned on this trip is just take whatever you've got and just do it, because these roads have been magic. And I'm pretty sure no matter what bike I was on, I'd be having fun. For example, I've got an S1000RR and a Hypermotard SP in front of me. So, run what you brung. So there you have it folks, touring on the MT-09. Can you do it? Yes. Is it good? Yes. Could you change a few things? Of course you could, you always could. But I've got a couple more days here. I'm going to rack up about 4,000 Ks in total, so I've got a pretty good feel for the old girl now. And if you've got some other questions about the bike that I haven't covered in the video, shoot them down below and I'll definitely answer them to the best of my ability. And if this is the first time you've seen one of my videos, feel free to hit that subscribe button down at the bottom. I make videos on a regular basis and I make them on all sorts of bikes, so you never know what you might see on the channel. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll speak to you soon. Cheers.